Frost will get the call for the Oilers. He's never faced Montreal in his career and has lost 3 straight starts. And he has not won in regulation since November 9th. And he'll try to hold the fort tonight because the Oilers shut out Montreal in their last meeting. And Dustin Tokarski knows all about that game. He allowed 2 goals and 18 shots in the last meeting against the Oilers in Edmonton and will look for a victory in his second career game against Edmonton tonight. Chris Rooney and Eric Furlan are the referees tonight. Pierre Rasco and Scott Driscoll will work the lines as Boyd Gordon will take the opening draw against David Desharnais. And we're underway as Tom Gilbert's up with a puck. He'll lift it into the Edmonton zone. Jeff Petrie after it with Pacioretty tracking in on him. Dale Weiss comes around quickly, lifting the stick of Gordon. Weiss knocked down, hands it off. Yemelin with a shot, and that one sailed wide as Pacioretty tried to reach his stick in for a deflection. Gordon flips it in, knocked down by Yemelin. Played ahead to David Desharnais, trying to hand it off at the line. That pass got broken up. And Yemelin fans on it. That will allow Hendricks to come in, tease it up, and miss the net. Desharnais back on it. Enters the Oilers zone on his own as Schultz will watch him. Throws it in front, goes off a skate, and kicks to Fast as he'll play it away with Gordon getting it off the glass by Subban and out. Andre Markov hands it off to Galchenyuk, up for Brendan Gallagher, snapped on net. Gallagher going after it again as Jordan Eberle rolled it back of the goal. Thomas Plekanec is there. Plekanec centered for Galchenyuk, broken up by Nugent Hopkins. Jordan Eberle trying to hand it off, but Gallagher will knock it away, and Schultz will swing it back around as that puck goes up the boards. Teddy Purcell got it to the line. Gallagher keeps it in. Throws it towards the net. It's blocked by Oscar Klefbom. Eberle trying to lift it out. Markov stops it. Plekanec threw it back in the middle, picked off by Purcell. Hands it off to Jordan Eberle. Eberle streaking in. Subban lies down. Took out Eberle, and that will be a tripping call against PK Subban. The expense of those over 7-3 goal to have the past 8 games are 3 for 17 in that stretch. Just over 17.5% as the Canadiens ice it, and now Edmonton will set it up. Jeff Petrie starts out, checks up, throws it across, and it's tipped in by Pakarinen. But it's broken up and clear right back down the ice.
The Canadiens done a pretty good job of staying out of the box. Only took 1 penalty last game and took 0 penalties against the Bruins on Sunday.
Petrie drops it off. Derek Roy enters his zone, stood up by Yemelin. Yakupov up with the puck. Yakupov fires, that one missed as Tokarski had traffic in front, and the puck comes out on Petrie. He'll have to back up with it. Played off for Yakupov, now ahead to Derek Roy. Roy trying to weave his way to the Canadiens line. Threw it in too far for Ryan Hamilton. Yemelin back on it, played it up the middle, goes out the skate of the official, comes to Plekanec. He'll try to screen Pacioretty, but he put himself offside, entering the Oilers zone, going backwards.
It hasn't been a great season so far for the Edmonton Oilers, and when things aren't going right, usually your special teams aren't working. You look at that power play percentage of the Oilers, currently at 28th in the National Hockey League at 14.4%, and it doesn't help when you have your best scorer, Taylor Hall, into the lineup, but you'd think with that power play and the amount of talent on this team would be a little bit better.
Gonchar goes to dump it in as Fast will lead it. Schultz hands it off for Teddy Purcell. Purcell gains the line, feeds it over to Anton Lander. Lander check to the boards, Markov there, rolled it around, and Schultz will keep it in. Feeds it across for Eberle, back for Schultz, over to Nugent Hopkins. Throws it down low. Lander tried to settle. That got blocked. And at the line, Schultz dives, but can't hold it in. Ryan Nugent Hopkins back on it for the Oilers with 25 seconds to go in the power play. Teddy Purcell brings it in, stopped at the line by Markov. Eberle follows up with a play. Threw it in front. Stopped by Tokarski on the redirect by Anton Lander. Mark Fane up with it. Plays it off for Eberle. Nugent Hopkins has got it centered in front, and it's blocked. Here's Purcell. Takes the shot. Throws it over to Eberle. Tokarski trying to scramble back in position as Fane gets it off for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Mark Fane, firing, blocked by Lars Eller. Subban is out of the box. He'll hustle after it, and then lays the body out of Mark Fane in front of the Montreal bench.
Montreal did a nice job of getting in the shooting and passing lanes. Good block by Lars Eller.
Eller up with it, feeds it ahead for Thomas. Thomas with a snapshot, kicked out by Foss. Christian Thomas on the attack. Held up by Petrie in the corner. Pacioretty will dig it out. Boyd Gordon right on top of him. All tangled up. Desharnais digging it free. Comes back to Gilbert. He'll hold the line. Feeds it off. Desharnais tried to flip it back over his stick to get a shot. Didn't work as Klinkhammer gets it out. Thomas deflecting it in. Desharnais can't reach it. And it's Hendricks that'll roll it over to Petrie. Jason Beaulieu knocks it down in center, then gets run over by Hendricks. Klinkhammer up for the puck. Rob Klinkhammer, one hand tried to center in, and Turkowski had the pad down to block it as Beaulieu goes sliding into the corner. Gilbert reverses it for Nathan Beaulieu, and he'll hang on for a second here and settle things down.
That was a big hit Nathan Beaulieu took from Matt Hendricks. Hendricks is a big guy, over 220 pounds.
Gallagher flips it up to Galchenyuk, the birthday boy today on his 21st birthday. As Gallagher blows a tire going to the Oilers zone. Luke Gadsden back the other way, throws it on net, kicked up by Tokarski. Gonchar working over Gadsden. Korkanitz in to take it. Gadsden trying to knock it away. Now it comes free. Sergei Gonchar is there, and he'll hand it off to Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher feeding it over to Yellow. Yellow gains his own, drops Korkanitz with a cross-ice pass for Galchenyuk, and that was broken up. Derek Roy handing it off to Yakupov. Now Yakupov in with a snapshot on net. It's blocked by Tokarski, and he'll hold on.
Montreal escapes an early PK Subban penalty with some excellent penalty killing, and Sergei Gonchar gets low here. If that pass gets through, that's an empty netter. But Gonchar does a nice job of getting low, and then Eller getting in the shooting lane. A nice little kick save. And then Hendricks, he's a big, powerful forward, runs into Beaulieu, and Nathan Beaulieu takes the worst of that Matt Hendricks hit. Looked a little shaken up after that as well, and I think he just lost an edge when he skated into the corner, and at first I thought he was shaken up, but he finished off the shift pretty well.
Oilers trying to make the late change on Hendricks, but he's got to go back to the bench.
And one of the few bright spots with the Oilers this season has been that line of Hendricks and Corey Gordon. And Rob Klinkhammer's been a nice addition to this team as well. Big power forward, and that line's been pretty steady.
Victor Fox down in the net will hand it off for Petrie. Played around to Andrew Ferris, knocked down the edges the coach, and the Oilers bring it out. Here's Petrie. Trying to feed it over to Yakupov. Broken up by Markov at the line, and the Oilers get caught for an outside.
Michel Therrien spoke yesterday at Montreal's practice. They only skated for 35 minutes yesterday, and Therrien's a big believer in giving his players the rest they need. And some of the Canadiens players needed a light day yesterday as Subban played his highest ice time for the season, over 31 minutes in that win over the Philadelphia Flyers. Markov over 29 minutes, so a short work day for the Canadiens yesterday.
Schultz played it across for Klefbom. And it's reflected in the Montreal zone. Tokarski out of the net has to play with Nugent Hopkins coming in. He'll go to the corner with PK Subban. Benny Purcell trying to dig it out. Nugent Hopkins on a play away from Markov. Now Purcell on the puck. Feeds it back to the line. Thrown over for Schultz. Schultz walking in. Pass across. Intended for Everly. Markov got a stick on that. Back to the line off the skate of Klefbom. And just out as it was played by Teddy Purcell. And the puck exited the zone. Scoreless here early in Montreal. You're watching Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet, presented by Rogers.
Welcome back to Montreal. It's fair to say things are looking up for center David Desharnais. After being demoted off the top line for a few weeks in an attempt to spark the offense, Desharnais is now reunited with longtime friend and line mate Max Pacioretty. And with impressive results, Desharnais earned his first career NHL Star of the Week honor after picking up 6 points in his last 3 games, including the overtime winner against the Flyers on Tuesday. Coach Michel Therrien had big praise for his 5'7" center, saying his courage and determination are to thank for where he is today. Desharnais says it's been fun to contribute, especially in overtime, but that at the end of the day, getting the win is always the most important thing. John?
That's right. Here's Markov with a snapshot steered away by Victor Faust. Now the puck picked up by Klefbom. Feeds it off for Schultz. Wrapped around the boards, and Galchenyuk's there to keep it in. Thomas Klinkhammer going after it. Klefbom knocks it up to the wing. Teddy Purcell hands it back, turned over. Galchenyuk with a chance, and he ripped it high over the net, and the puck goes out of play.
A couple of good close-in chances by the Canadiens. Galchenyuk just missing the net there, but just before that, Markov with a nice burst to the neutral zone. Little pull and drag, and just enough. That almost beat Foss as he just got an arm on that. Then Galchenyuk finds himself all alone and fires one just high and wide past Victor Faust.
Been a good pace to the start of this game. The Oilers are a good skating club, and so are the Canadiens, so maybe we'll keep it up tonight with a bit of a track meet this way.
Now, they've been a much improved team under Coach Todd Nelson.
Puck dumped into the Canadian zone. Tokarski will stop it, and he rings it around the glass. Hendricks tried to knock it down. Porteval wanted to tip it out. Linkhammer kept it in and throws it in deep. Bounce deflected down into the corner for Boyd Gordon. Taken to the boards by Jacob Delarose. Porteval on it on the feed from Bolger, trying to chip it ahead for Thomas. Porteval knocked down by Mark Bain. Thomas trying to throw it in front off the stick and comes right to Marinson, and he'll clear it ahead for Gordon, who flips it back into the Canadian zone. That puck hit Delarose. They'll head off for the change. Nathan Bolger is on it. Head for Porteval and deflected in. Fox moves it around for Petrie. Only got a piece of it. Andrew Ferentz can't clear it as that got stopped by Desharnais. Here's Yemelin with it. Swinging it back for Desharnais. He'll hustle after it. Luke Gazdic comes in as Pacioretty leaves it at the line for Gilbert. Over to Yemelin with a shot, and Faust had to get across and grab that with Dale Weiss parked in front.
Nice quick shot by Alexei Yemelin. I mentioned the Oilers have been much improved as of late, and since Todd Nelson's taken over this group, they're almost a 500 hockey club, and that's a huge improvement since the numbers before. You look at that record since before Nelson, 7-22. Big thing, though, for me, look at that goal differential. Minus 47 before, and much improved now under Nelson. And this team is starting to buy in. The other night in Long Island, they just lost that game by a goal, but they were the better hockey team and deserved the better fate, so very well could be a 500 hockey club right now.
Oilers at least trying to improve and make it close, have the effort. If you're going to lose, at least lose a close one. And some of the games earlier in the season, they would be down 3-0 about the 15-minute mark of the first period, and then try to mount the comeback, but it was too little too late in a lot of games. Here's Desharnais, handing it off to Gilbert. Back for Desharnais, trying to chip it in front. Broken up by Ryan Hamilton, and he'll feed it ahead for Yakupov. Yakupov stopped, and the puck is knocked down the line. Alexei Yemelin is on it. Hands it off to Desharnais. Trying to feed it up the middle. Goes off the skate of Eberle. He'll get it right back and chip it in. Schultz trying to play. Up ahead for Eberle. Hands it across for Teddy Purcell. Purcell, snapshot, that missed an head, and Brandon Prust is on. Can't bounce it up past Nugent Hopkins over to Eberle. Waiting in front to Purcell, going to the net. Tokarski down. Nugent Hopkins throws it on net, and it's blocked by Tokarski. Had him down and couldn't get the puck up over him. Sakach the other way. He stopped at the Oiler line. Pass back across. Here's Purcell with it. Teddy Purcell throws it on net. Kicked out by Tokarski. Puck dumped in. Subban there overskates it as Eberle tries to dig it out. Nathan Bolger hands it off to Lars Eller. And Eller will take his time and fire it down the ice with Brandon Prust hustling after it. He'll get to it in time as he's tangled up back of the net with Klefbom. Oscar Klefbom trying to move it. Lars Eller chasing him. The Oilers get it out. Pass off the stick of Nugent Hopkins as Bolger will feed it up to Lars Eller, and he'll lift it right back in. Brendan Gallagher going after it. Nugent Hopkins on the puck. Plays it over, and now the Oilers are back up ice. Luke Gazdic is on it. He'll dump it in. Tokarski turned it over, and then Gonchar gets the puck back as Gazdic fell over him. Bolger up ahead to Galchenyuk, trying to get by Mark Fane. Fane takes Galchenyuk in the end boards, and Gallagher falls and goes crashing in the end boards as well. Lukanix knocks it back in. Gallagher after it once more, trying to kick it through the feet of Fane. Anton Lander there to knock it away. Galchenyuk chips it up on the boards. Nathan Bolger has got it. Bolger rolled it across to Gonchar. It skipped over his stick, but he's able to dump it in. Mark Fane can't clear it out. Galchenyuk's got it. Hands it off for Nathan Bolger. Spins around and dumps it in. Gallagher can't reach it. Galchenyuk back after it. And now it is Hakkarainen that'll go after it. Nathan Bolger throws it on net. Grabbed by the glove of Victor Faust. And he'll hold on. Jordan Eberle with a chance for the Oilers, but couldn't tuck it home. And Jordan Eberle with a chance for the Oilers, but couldn't tuck it home. And we're still scoreless with Canadiens Parking on Sportsnet. Well, waiting can be the hardest part sometimes, but for Ryan Hamilton, his first NHL goal finally came last game.
That was a big night for Ryan Hamilton, and played over 480 games in the minors for the Houston Aeros, the Toronto Marlies, and the Oklahoma City Barons. And sometimes you get your first goal in your early 20s. Sometimes it takes until you're 29 years of age, but you'll remember them all. And for Hamilton, that's a goal he'll never forget. And he's been a big part of this team, and as of late, and a nice fit.
Great and well-deserved for Ryan Hamilton in his 16th career NHL game tonight. Markov tries to throw it in front. Pacioretty went to play it. Desharnais trying to center again, and the Oilers want to clear it, can't get it out. Markov shot, steered away by Victor Faust. Great story. He was going to be called up, and he went for a walk with his new baby with the stroller, took the dog out, and said to his wife, I'm going to leave the phone at home. And while he was gone, the coach was trying to get a hold of him to tell him he was being recalled to the Oilers. One of his teammates actually had to go out and find him an hour and a half later. Said, borrow my phone, you've got to call. You got to find out there's good news here. It's not a bad thing. And he came up and finally got that first NHL goal. Great to see. Klinkhammer runs over Subban in the Oilers zone as the puck's played up the boards and tipped out by Klinkhammer as it's grabbed at center by Derek Roy. Roy with a backhander right on to Tokarski. We'll hang on to that one.
Rob Klinkhammer, all 6'3", 212 pounds, and he's going to catch a big piece of PK Subban here. And Subban just sees him at the last minute and gets his hands up, protects himself a little bit at the end, but still a pretty big tumble as Klinkhammer gets a good piece of PK Subban along the boards.
Klinkhammer leads the Oilers in hits with 158 coming into the game tonight, so no surprise that 6'3", 214-pound Alberta native is throwing the weight around again for Edmonton. Here's Hamilton up with the puck. Drops it out for Schultz. Back in front, Yakupov buzzing around. Schultz back in front, Yakupov buzzing around the net. Derek Roy.
What did he say this morning? He already talked about it.
Yakupov.
His team's got to learn how to handle playing with the lead. Good teams have to dial in for 60 minutes.
So much talent.
And when there's pressure on, that's when they're the most
first overall in the same draft
against Carolina.
Alex Galchenyuk, who was picked third overall in that draft. Always tough when you're on a struggling hockey team to try and find that confidence. And for the Oilers, for all of us,
by one, it was 3-2. The Blues losing a one-goal game in overtime on Tuesday.
6'3", 214-pound out puck. Burt drops it out for Schultz. Back in front, Yakupov buzzing around the net. Derek Roy couldn't get it to him.
Yakupov continues to struggle finding the back of the net for the Edmonton Oilers, and so much talent, and obviously picked first overall in the same draft as Alex Galchenyuk, who was picked third overall in that draft, and always tough when you're on a struggling hockey team to try and find that confidence. And for the Oilers, they've been very patient with Yakupov.
The Canadiens won the draw. Gilbert's on it, threw it up the middle, and it's blocked by Klepkov. Derek Roy fires it right back in. Tokarski will let it go as Yakupov hustles after it. Dodge the check from Yemlin. Yakupov plays it off to Ryan Hamilton. Hamilton bumped on the play by Plekanec. Hamilton still battling for the puck, knocked it away from Yemlin. Yakupov has got it. Yakupov centered, and it comes in front, but Delarose is there. He'll hand it off for Bonneval. Bonneval racing down the wing, trying to get away from Klepkov. Wanted to throw it in front. That got stopped. Subban is on it. PK Subban along the line. Hands it up for Delarose, but it's picked off. Yakupov for Derek Roy, and he'll dump it in off the glass. PK Subban settles it down for Montreal. Long pass ahead to Gallagher. Feeds it over to Thomas Plekanec. Plekanec tried the shot. That got blocked. Rolled up the arm of Fane. Back down to the corner and away. Teddy Purcell is on it. He has Everly with him on the far side, but Purcell will hang on and bring it in the Canadian zone. Now drops it for Nugent Hopkins. Spinning with a shot. Right on. Tokarski's got that one.
Justin Tokarski having to be sharp, and he's not the biggest of goaltenders, just under 6 feet tall, and stays on his feet here, tracks the puck. Instead of going to that, it's almost like a half butterfly there as he makes himself appear larger in the net and takes that puck up high. And nice save by Justin Tokarski. He's had to be sharp early in this game. The Oilers have had a couple nice chances, and when you're playing behind a goaltender like Carey Price, you never know when you're going to get the call, but tonight right? Tokarski looks sharp so far.
It's wound on the way.
Never know when you get answer.
John Lander. Check to the corner. Nathan Beaulieu in there as well, but it's picked up by Luke Gatzek. Tangled up with Gonchar. Puck comes around on the wing. Pekarinen trying to move it. Miro Pekarinen. Got it up the boards. Anton Lander is there. Lander hands it off. Throwing in front. Hit the skate of Gatzek and kicks right over to Beaulieu. Max Pacioretty pushes it forward for Dale Weiss. Wrapped around the wing, and it's blocked by Marenson, and that puck will come back out. The Oilers are on it again. Spinning with a shot right on. Tokarski's got that one.
Justin Tokarski having to be sharp, and he's up on his shot. This is not one of his best. Gets that puck off his stick in a hurry. It's pretty hard for a goaltender to pick up his release point. 4 goals already this season.
And the only goal in that game against the Vancouver Canucks.
Shot. This is not one of his best, but he gets that puck off his stick in a hurry. Pretty hard for a goaltender to pick up his release point. 4 goals already this season.
And the only goal in that game against the Vancouver Canucks.
20 minutes, 14 seconds.
Right on the line by Lander. He's being watched by Beaulieu, and he'll dump it off.
20 minutes, 20 seconds of 1 hour, 44 minutes, 40 seconds. Current value, 1,220 minimum value 0, maximum value 6,200.
As Andrew Ferentz goes back to get. Ferentz throws it right up the middle. Prust is there to tip it over to Markov. Subban for Prust. He asked away to Sakac entered the zone. Now Sakac up with it. Yevgeny Sakac hangs on, feeds it out for Eller with a quick snapshot. It was off the outside of the net, but fast reaches out to grab it.
Great puck move by the Montreal Canadiens in the neutral zone. Some tic-tac-toe passing. Finishes off with a quick shot on the outside. And that's the key to this Montreal Canadiens offense. It's their ability to regroup and attack with speed. And it always helps when you got a couple defensemen back there by the names of Subban and Markov that can really speed. Montreal Canadiens offense. It's their ability to regroup and attack with speed.
0% vertically scroll.
It always helps when you got a couple defensemen back there by the names of Subban and Markov that can really kickstart that transition game.
Galchenyuk knocks the puck down, trying to throw it in front. That was blocked. Comes in to help out, a roll to the side of the net.
Glove to head, so we've got a whistle.
There's Matthew Tkachuk. He has, as I said, been very forceful, showing Flames coaches and management that he deserves to stay in the National Hockey League. He is a rough and tumble kid. I wonder where he got that from.
You know, all of a sudden Arizona is becoming a hotbed for producing high-end hockey players.
It's been over 24 years since his dad Keith played his first game.
Knocks the puck down. Victor Fennelas will cover it up, and he'll hold on. Still scoreless at the Bell Center. You're watching Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet, presented by Rogers. Back inside the Bell Center, look at the Stanley Cup banners in the rafters. The Edmonton Oilers familiar with a few banners in their own building as well. John Bartlett alongside Jason York. And what a quick pace to this period so far. And that's to be expected with the Oilers and Canadiens. They're both good skating teams.
I've been impressed by this young Oilers team so far. They're playing with a lot of pace. The new coach, Todd Nelson, has really got them playing faster, quicker, up-tempo hockey. Reminds me a little bit of the Montreal Canadiens. But so far, so good. This is a pretty good hockey team in a fast-paced game, like you said so far.
The shot 7-6 in favor of the Oilers. Galchenyuk along the boards, trying to dig it away from Yemlin as it's jammed there by Klinkhammer. Now Galchenyuk played it away, knocked Petrie down. Gallagher has got it. Throws it over to Gilbert, out of his reach, tip back in front. Galchenyuk throws it towards the net on the short side, and that missed. Plakenitz feeds it over to Gilbert. Right back for Galchenyuk, handing it off for Gallagher, dropped it off. Galchenyuk back up the middle, but it's chopped away by Klinkhammer, and that'll end up back in the Canadian zone.
That's twice now. Galchenyuk's had a good look, and he's fired it high and wide.
Thomas Plakenitz hands it off for Brendan Gallagher, and he'll deflect it in as the Oilers regroup. Ferentz played it up ahead, and it's lifted in for Klinkhammer. Derek Roy in front. Klinkhammer center for Roy, and he just swung at it and missed. PK Subban. That is pass blocked by Hamilton. Now he dumps it in. Dale is on it. Has to get away from Derek Roy. Left it as Yakupov nearly took off with it, but Markov stopped it. Mark Fein, checked by Weiss. Desharnais back to the puck. Throws it up high to Pacioretty with a shot, and Foss kicked that one out. Pacioretty's got it again. Handing it off to Dale Weiss. Center, Desharnais couldn't pull the trigger. He had to settle the puck down. Desharnais to Pacioretty, shoots, and Fast has got it. As the Canadiens get a good scoring chance in the Oilers zone.
Some great pressure by the Canadiens' top line. Max Pacioretty never shy on shooting the puck, but just before that, the Oilers get a quick break, and Klickhammer throws this to the front of the net, and Derek Roy just couldn't get a stick on that. And then after that, the Canadiens' big line, Pacioretty is so good at finding those quiet areas, just disappears for a split second, much like Brett Hull back in the day when it's kind of like now you see him, now you don't, and Pacioretty, who's third in the NHL in shots, never shy to shoot that puck.
Sergei Gonchar hangs onto it, fires it towards the net, hit Bonneval in front. He's tangled up, throws it back to the line, but turned it over to Luke Johnson. And the Oilers get it out. Bolger has to race back. Pakarinen going after it. Jero Pakarinen trying to jar it away from Nathan Bolger. But it is brought up as Gonchar will get it up for Bonneval, and De La Rose will deflect it in. Victor Foss down to the net. Played it around the boards. Bonneval knocks it down. Christian Thomas there to retrieve it. Thomas leaves it for Bolger. He'll dump it back in for De La Rose. Jacob De La Rose spinning around, trying to go deep for Bonneval. And it's broken up by Anton Lander. Bonneval throws it in front off the skate of Thomas. Pakarinen can't get it out. Here's Thomas back in. Takes a shot, scores! And it's broke. Jacob De La Rose for Bolger. He'll dump it back in for De La Rose. Jacob De La Rose spinning around, trying to go deep for Bonneval. And it's broken up by Anton Lander. Rose spinning around, trying to go deep for Bonneval. And it's broken up by Anton Lander. Bonneval throws it. He'll dump it back in for De La Rose. Thomas leaves it for Bolger. He'll dump it back in for De La Rose. Jacob De La Rose spinning around, trying to go deep for Bonneval. And it's broken up by Anton Lander. Bonneval throws it in front off the skate of Thomas. Pakarinen can't get it out. Here's Thomas back in. Takes a shot. And here, what Foss?
He's been a great
Slid up from the crowd. Assist as well, so Jacob De La Rose gets his first NHL point on the assist as well, so what a night to remember for Thomas and De La Rose, and it's still in the first period, so maybe more to come. But the Canadiens get the game's opening goal. 24th time this year they've scored first as Tokarski will flip it around to PK Subban. Subban has to shake off Nugent Hopkins. Banks it off for Markov. Markov back for Subban. Up to Galchenyuk, and he'll deflect it in. Victor Foss leaves it for Marinson, and he'll wait back in the net. Martin Marinson hands it off. Petrie check to the play by Prust, goes up the boards. Gilbert intercepts. Throws it in front, and that got blocked. Yakupov trying to move it, but Sakach at the line will keep it in. Marinson checked by Prust again. Petrie has got it, and he'll lift it out as Gilbert goes back to get it. John Gilbert being chased by Ryan Hamilton. Played up on the wing. That is blocked by the skate of Derek Roy. And Prust will deflect it by Schultz, and back out as Hamilton goes after it. Had to shake off Sakach. Brandon Prust slides it over to Gilbert, and he'll fire it right back in the Oilers zone. Schultz checked to the play by Prust. Lars Eller comes in to move it as well, but Derek Roy goes after it. Roy feeds it over to Schultz. Justin Schultz flips it into the Canadian zone. Nathan Beaulieu going after it. Hendricks will bump him and send around to far side where Boyd Gordon is in. Back for Hendricks out front, and a great chance for Klickhammer. And Tokarski got a piece of the shot, just enough to knock it wide. Tough bomb will dump it in. Tokarski plays it around the boards. That got stopped by Hendricks. There's Klickhammer. Tied up by Desharnais. Right back of the goal. Hendricks trying to come out front and does. Can't tuck it through the pads of Tokarski. He's down. And the puck is loose in the crease, but Tokarski's got it. What a great chance for the Oilers again, and Matt Hendricks.
A pretty good response by the Oilers here after giving up the first goal. And it happens right here in the offensive zone. Comes behind the net, pops out front, and this is a nice save by Dustin Tokarski. Tracks the puck well. It's a little bit fortunate that Hendricks can't elevate that puck, but full credit for the Canadiens to collapsing down low and helping out Dustin Tokarski, and Hendricks wasn't able to get enough time to elevate that puck.
Markov up with it. Played it ahead for Thomas Plekanec. Little bounce pass off the boards. Galchenyuk can't enter the zone. He gets stopped, and Gallagher will knock it down. Feeds it over to PK Subban. Back up ahead by Gallagher down the ice. Victor Faust out of the net. Wrapped around the boards. Plekanec trying to knock it away from Klefbom. And it comes back for Schultz. Everly hands it off for Nugent Hopkins. Throwing across to Schultz. And Schultz will take it for a skate. Giving it back to Everly. He'll curl with it. Now gives way for Schultz. Back to Everly. Feeds it across for Klefbom with a shot, and it's blocked away by Tokarski. Back of the goal, it's batted in front, but Plekanec is there to knock it away for Subban. Subban cleared it up the boards. Everly knocked it down. Nugent Hopkins on it. Handing it out for Everly. Back for Nugent Hopkins, and the pass got by his stick and down the ice. Schultz is up with it. Feeds it across for Yakupov. Yakupov trying to find a little room in the dying seconds. Throws it towards the net. It's wide. Tokarski will swipe it away. Dylan Rose runs into his man, and that'll do it. Period number one comes to a close. Montreal Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet. Hit that anniversary on the target, but he'd be happy to have that one here tonight. A heck of a shot. Jacob Delarose, as we mentioned, first NHL point on the assist as well.
Obviously, when Christian was a young boy, I'm sure his dad, Steve, had him on the outdoor rink working on the snapshot, because that looked an awful lot like his father when he released that puck.
See if the overtime success goes in the family as well with Christian Thomas. Stumpy, of course, historically well in overtime for getting the big winners. Here's Gilbert. Up to the puck as he'll hand it off for Alexei Emelin. Played ahead to Max Pacioretty. Desharnais over to Weiss. Weiss fires, kicked up by Faust, and Desharnais going to the net was tied up by Petrie. Couldn't get the rebound. Gilbert's on it. Tom Gilbert waiting. Tries to shake off Hendricks. He'll slide it back for Pacioretty. Pacioretty with a shot blocked by Boyd Gordon, and the puck comes out all the way down the ice. Tokarski will leave it for Emelin. Alexei Emelin will wait. And now the Canadiens set up. Emelin hands it off for Gilbert. Gilbert dumps it into the bench. And out of play as everyone had to duck for cover there.
Canadiens off to a good start in the second period, and the Canadiens' top unit. It all starts with David Desharnais in the neutral zone. Quick little dish out to Dale Weiss. He wastes no time getting that shot towards the net, and Desharnais looking around in the high slot for a rebound.
Plekanec and Nugent Hopkins will take this try. Nugent Hopkins played it forward, but Subban there to get it. PK Subban tries to find a little room. Carries it in, hands it off, Galchenyuk scores! Forward. Plekanec and Nugent Hopkins will take. As Nugent Hopkins played it forward, but Subban there to get it. PK Subban tries to find a little. Nugent Hopkins played it forward, but Subban there to get it. PK Subban tries to find a little room. Carries it in, hands it off, Galchenyuk scores! Hopkins will take this try. Nugent Hopkins played it forward, but Subban there to get it. PK Subban tries to find a little room. Carries it in, hands right. Galchenyuk is the lead teams and Roy back for Hamilton, count of the walk for the Canadiens. It's Ryan Henley. Mark LaRose that'll pick it off for the Canadiens. Markov up for the puck. Bounced it ahead for Thomas, trying to deflect it by Aronson, but it's held in. Derek Roy tried to feed it back for Luke Gastic, intercepted by Bourneval. Bourneval will dump it in and then takes a hit in front of the Canadiens bench from Hakarinen. Martin Aronson hangs onto it. Sakach watching from the slot. Klefbom trying to throw a little interference on Sakach as it's worked up ahead, and Gastic will deflect it in. Nathan Beaulieu going after it. Beaulieu took the check around the boards off the stick of Plus. Comes to the line, throw towards the net. Empty net for Luke Gazdic, and he ripped it wide.
With that puck a little bit on end, and Gazdic not too happy with himself as he ducks his head, and boy, would he love to have that one back. As he had Dustin Tokarski down and out. Comes around the boards where the Oilers are going to pick it up here. A little bit of a broken play. Comes back to the point. The rebound ends right on the stick of Gazdic, and he just fires that wide. As he's looking at the replay right now, and sure, he's thinking to himself, how did I miss that one?
Nathan Beaulieu fired it up to Brandon Price, deflected away. Lars Heller will dump it down the ice, and Schultz will lead.
They've had their chances, and Gazdic with the latest one.
Puck played away by Teddy Purcell. Everly after it in the corner. Lars Heller in on him. Gonchar there as well. Wrapped around the boards. Sakac's trying to knock it out. Schultz got a piece of it, but Eller will come up with it. Lars Heller hangs onto it. Skates it in the Oilers zone and dumps it off deep. Sakac's around the boards trying to play it away from Schultz. Everly will knock it out, and PK Subban is back on it. Lars Heller dumps it in as Victor Foss slows it down. Schultz swings it back around. Desharnais got to it. Knocked away by Klefbom. Klefbom feeds it ahead for Everly. He'll hand it off to Hendricks. 1-on-1 against Markov. Takes the shot, and it's steered away by Tokarski. Markov back up with the puck. Runs into traffic. Hendricks checks him, but Subban is there to lift it out. Pacioretty jumps up for it at center. Trying to knock it down. They got bumped by Boyd Gordon. Desharnais there as well. Klinkhammer chipped it by Subban back in the Canadian zone. Markov goes after it. And he'll push Hendricks off the puck as Dale Weiss is checked. Klinkhammer feeds the line for Ferentz. Handing it off to Petrie. Petrie shakes off Pacioretty and rolled. They score! Chipped it by Subban back in the Canadian zone. Markov goes after it. And he'll push Hendricks off the puck as Dale Weiss is checked. Klinkhammer feeds the line for Ferentz. Handing it off to Petrie. Petrie shakes off Pacioretty and Klinkhammer feeds the line for Ferentz. Handing it off to Petrie. Petrie shakes off Pacioretty and rolled. They score!
Tricks at point, and that is the head answer.
So a chance
Down, and not much chance there for
away. Yemmelin hustles back to the play, and Gonchar is stuck standing on the bench. Gallagher will clear it out. Klefbom back on it for Edmonton. Played it across for Schultz. Schultz up ahead to Derek Roy. Roy trying to streak in. It goes to the net. Tokarski kicked it away. Luke Gazdic trying to work it along the boards, and Benny Gallagher's back on it. Across to De La Rose. Jacob De La Rose looks to go around Schultz. He'll take him into the corner. Puck brought out though by Oscar Klefbom. He'll get it up off the glass, and that one's out, and Gonchar now out on the ice will settle it down. Turned over to Klefbom at center. Klefbom trying to get around Thomas. Will backhand it in as Tokarski's out of the net, and he'll leave it for Gonchar. Played around for Thomas. Christian Thomas trying to race by Ferentz. Thomas can't get by Ferentz, but he goes after Petrie in the corner, and the puck sits free for Ferentz to grab. Anton Lambert cleared it in. Gonchar's here to give it to Bordeval, and now it's picked up by Nathan Beaulieu. Gonchar up ahead. Bordeval deflects it in. Victor Foss leaves it for Ferentz. Ferentz hanging on to it. Now played it up ahead, and it's Teddy Purcell that'll carry it up ice. Purcell gains the line for Everly. Swung it back for Nugent Hopkins. That got away from him, and Desharnais will throw it ahead to Pacioretty. Pacioretty trying to get around the defense of Martin Marinson, but can't. Drops it for Markov with a shot off the stick over the glass and out of play. Galchenyuk scores for the Canadiens, but the Oilers don't score. Here in Montreal. Matt Hendricks, tip on 1909 and collect points for just being a fan. Exchange them for money can't buy products and experiences. Tonight's unique game code is Desharnais. Log on to your club1909.com account in the next 15 minutes and earn 5 points by entering this code.
David Desharnais with 8 points in his last 5 games. Starting to catch fire here on this Canadiens top line.
Off the draw, it is Pacioretty trying to swipe it in front. Comes back to Gonchar. He'll tee it up, and that got blocked by Hendricks. Boyd Gordon caught up with Desharnais. Puck comes back around the boards, and it's out as Gonchar will go to get it. Sakach played it up for Desharnais. They'll enter the zone. Pacioretty had caught up in his leg. Slapped it towards the net. Comes back for Nathan Beaulieu. Beaulieu dumped it in the corner, but it's cleared back around. Klinkhammer checked. And the puck is chipped across. Desharnais goes after it. Then got chopped down by Marincek. He'll go to the box for tripping, and the Canadiens will go to the power play for the first time tonight.
That's just a great play by David Desharnais. Wins the race to the puck and gets body position. And because of that play, draws a penalty, and this is what happens. The NHL now, it's not about size, it's about winning foot races to the puck, and that's exactly what Desharnais does. Because of his speed and his tenacity, he draws a penalty there, and great example of a player 5'7" that's able to play in this league because he's not afraid to go to the hard areas in the rink, and winning races like that is what the game's now all about.
Canadiens power play going to work. 3 goals in their past 7 games. Went 3 for 19 in that stretch as Galchenyuk tries to dig it out from underneath Boyd Gordon. Up comes to Markov. Over to Subban. Subban immediately met by Hendricks. Shakes him off. Feeds it back to Galchenyuk, and it hopped over his stick. Petrie is on it. He'll knock it off the boards and get it down the ice.
PK Subban was thinking of shooting that puck, but the Canadiens didn't have any net front presence right away, so decided to not shoot.
Markov played it up for Subban. Across to Plekanec. Cutting in. Plekanec put it off the goalpost. Thomas Plekanec back on it to Subban, firing, and that just went wide. Petrie's got it, and he'll air it out down the ice for the Oilers. Good hustle by Teddy Purcell. He'll get to a first center for Nugent Hopkins and just tipped it wide of the net. The Oilers have scored 4 short-handed goals this year. Here's Markov with it. Plays it up ahead. Gallagher stopped at the line. Teddy Purcell's got it back. He'll take it for a skate into the Canadian zone. Checks up as Nugent Hopkins was right there beside him. Now lifts it in deep and heads off for the change. Subban. Long pass ahead. Intended for Desharnais. David Desharnais rolls it at the line. Held up by Mark Fane. That got cleared. Sakach feeds it off for Subban. Subban flipped it up. Sakach on the puck. Turning around. Hands it off at the line. Subban to Gonchar. Traffic in front. Gonchar for Subban, firing, and a big block by Boyd Gordon, and Gordon will clear it.
Gordon and Hendricks, great shot blocks and courage getting in front of that Subban shot.
Gonchar played it ahead for Desharnais. He's in on the rush. Feeds it across to Pacioretty. Took it on the backhand. Pacioretty over to Gonchar. Had to stretch out for that. Now it's tipped away by Klinkhammer. He'll get it up ahead for Anton Lander. Lander short-handed stops. Now being watched by Gilbert, so he'll throw it back to Petrie. And that'll do it as the Oilers burn off the Montreal power play.
Canadiens' most dangerous opportunity was the rush by Plekanec off the post.
Lander across for Klinkhammer. Drops it off. Yakupov went to shoot and then just kind of fanned on it as Portaval got his stick in the way. Ferrett's back on it. Ferrett's off the head for Yakupov. Stopped at center by Gilbert. He'll dump it in. Portaval hustling after it. Portaval runs Klefbom into boards as Ferrett's is back on the puck. Portaval on the forecheck trying to get his stick in the lane. Comes back for Nathan Beaulieu. Boss can't stop it side of the net. Klefbom now is to come out with it over to Ryan Hamilton, and he'll clear the zone. Puck ends up on net as Tokarski plays it out for Beaulieu. Had to get away from Yakupov. Schwartz for Yakupov. Across to Ryan Hamilton with a shot. Right in front. Tipped by Derek Roy, and it's wide. Beaulieu. Chipped it up. Portaval will swipe it out. Yemelin hustling after a little bounce pass off the boards for Thomas. Christian Thomas trying to get away from Schultz. Klefbom has got it back for Edmonton, and he'll hand it off for Schultz. Justin Schultz curling around with it. Wants to shake off Lars Eller. Schultz leads the Oilers and time on ice in the game. Just over 21.5 minutes he averages as Subban is back on it. PK Subban flipped it up for Dale Weiss, but off the back of his foot, and Prust was going in the zone. It's an offside against Montreal. You're watching Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet, presented by Rogers.
Now the Canadiens were able to capitalize on this power play. They got a good opportunity. Off the post right there was Plekanec off the rush. Then it comes back to Subban, who blasts it, just misses it wide, and then gets an opportunity here. Gonchar, quick one-time pass to Subban. But look at Boyd Gordon get down and low and block that shot off the stage. Very next shift, this is what Montreal's fourth line has been doing. They've been pesky and they've been hard on the forecheck, causing the Oilers fits in their own zone. It's the speed of Bourneval and the tenacity of Thomas and Delarose. They've been excellent so far tonight.
Markov goes to lift it in. Klefbom knocked it down. Klefbom feeds it back around for Schultz. Galchenyuk in on him, finishes his hit. Gallagher right in front to Galchenyuk, trying to tip it. Victor Faust got a piece of it to direct it away. Now the puck brought up ice by Edmonton. Jordan Eberle going after it, but rolled off his stick, and Gallagher will loop around the net with it. Brendan Gallagher played it off the glass over the head of Purcell and out, and Klefbom had a knock through his skates as Victor Faust will set it up for Schultz. Eberle up over to Klefbom. He'll dump it back in. Eberle there waiting for it. Trying to deflect it down low for Purcell. Side of the net. Nugent Hopkins couldn't get a stick on it. Eberle feeds it back for Mark Fane with a shot on goal kicked out by Tokarski. Now it's Berenson on it again with a backhander that sails over the net. Mark Fane kept it in. Jordan Eberle off for Nugent Hopkins. Oilers with a little bit of pressure now. Handing it off. Teddy Purcell on it. Swiped away by Subban, and Galchenyuk will get it out.
Good job of Galchenyuk coming back and collapsing.
Berenson will fire it back in. Tokarski got the blocker on that as Subban will reverse it around the glass. Anton Lander kicks it into the corner. Markov trying to play it away. Lander's back on it. Anton Lander back for Berenson with a shot tipped in front. Tokarski made the save on the redirect. It came right off the stick of Pecorino. Markov will lift it up. Pacioretty pumps it in. Canadiens stay outside as Weiss runs into Berenson, but he lifts the puck out of play.
Some good back and forth opportunities by the Habs and the Oilers. First, it's Gallagher is going to get this puck and throw it right in the net, and Galchenyuk just misses, tipping that by Faust. Then the Oilers get the point shot and the tip in front, and Tokarski had to be real sharp on that as that puck was tipped a good foot the other way. Berenson with a good quick shot from the point.
Eero Pakarinen with the opportunity in front for the Oilers. Scored his first and only NHL goal back on November 7th against Buffalo's Yedlin. Takes a run at Petrie and he goes flying.
That's an old school hip check right there.
Here's Ferentz across to Petrie with a shot. It's blocked in front, and Desharnais has got it. Tipped off his stick. Gilbert follows up and will clear it up. Gordon deflects it back in. Yedlin going after it. Klinkhammer right in on him. Gilbert back up with the puck. He'll take his time with it. Now hands it out for Yedlin. Alexei Yedlin feeds it up to Pacioretty. Got it in the zone. Schultz will clear it out. Yakupov up with it. Yakupov trying to get by Yedlin. Fell down. Derek Roy for Yakupov. Hamilton going to the net in front. Just missed getting a stick on it. Schultz to the line. Hands it off. Klefbom for Yakupov. Yakupov trying to feed it back down low. It is broken up by Yedlin, and he'll roll it out down the ice. Klefbom takes it for a little bit of a skate here for Edmonton. Look at Klefbom go, and then hands it off for Yakupov. Yakupov spins away from Subban, dodged the check. Ryan Hamilton up with it. Hamilton drops it off. Derek Roy tries to take the shot. It got blocked by Gilbert, and Delarose will get it off the glass and out. Ferentz back on it. Ferentz will fire it in. Jordan Eberle going after it. Eberle takes it around the net. Poked away by Subban. Hamilton trying to jar it loose from Plekanec and does. Nugent Hopkins hustling after it. Runs into Bourneval. Plekanec to the line. Kept in by the Oilers. And now it's Subban up for the puck. He'll hand it off for Delarose off his stick. Here's Eberle back in the other way. Jordan Eberle up with it. Knocked down by Subban. Subban trying to clear it. Flip. Nugent Hopkins stopped it. Eberle up for the puck to the net. Pulls it towards the goal. Tokarski down. Nugent Hopkins scores. Trying to the other way. Subban up for the puck. He'll hand it off for Tim by the Oilers. And now it's Subban up for the puck. He'll hand it off for De La Rose off his stick. Here's Eberle back in the other way. Jordan Eberle. It's to the line. Kept in by the Oilers. And now it's Subban up for the puck. He'll hand it off for De La Rose off his stick. Here's Eberle back in the other way. Jordan Eberle up with it. The people to get it into the play. The Grimes got away from Victor Foss. Galchenyuk knocks it back for Gallagher. Off to Galchenyuk. He'll roll it to the line. Nathan Bolger gives it back to Galchenyuk with a shot. Blocked away by Foss. Galchenyuk back for Gallagher. Tied up on the play by Mironson. Throws it up high. Plekanec has it in his skate. Gives it off to Gonchar. Goes through his feet, but he's able to bat it back down low. Gallagher plays it out for Plekanec. Back for Gonchar off his stick, and that'll come out. Nathan Bolger hands it off to Gonchar. Up for Plekanec, deflecting it in. Lost out of the net. Pacioretty buzzing around looking for the loose puck. As Weiss got his stick in there, but it's Derek Roy that's up with it for the Oilers. Roy will loop around with it. Now hands it off for Mark Fane. Back for Mironson. Puck went off the back of the net though, and it comes to Dale Weiss. Dan May trying to jump around on Fane, got tangled up with him. And the puck is played away by Edmonton as Gilbert is here. Dumped out. Oilers fire it back to the Montreal line. Gilbert for May over to Weiss. Can't play it on the delayed offside as Hendricks is on it. Hands it across to Mark Fane. Back over to Hendricks. Up the middle, and it's deflected in by Gordon. Right on net. Tokarski decides he'll put a glove on it to hold on. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with a goal for the Oilers. We're tied at 2 on Sportsnet.
Don't let the Oilers' 15-31-9 record fool you. This is a different hockey club under Coach Todd Nelson, especially on the road. They're much improved. And look at the first 21 games, the horrific 2-12-7 record on the road. Last 6 games, different story. 4-3-0. And again, it's that goal differential. -6 compared to -29. Big difference. They're doing little things. You look at this team skate, their transition game, and they're not beating themselves anymore. And last game against the New York Islanders, they dominated the Islanders in the third period and deserved a better fate. They just couldn't solve the goaltending of the New York Islanders and Euro Halak.
Subban will ring it around the boards. Gallagher trying to play it out. Schultz had him tied up. Plekanec will get it off the skate of Schultz, and it comes back onto the stick of Klefbom. We'll dump it in. Subban right back out. Galchenyuk chopping at it. Schultz got in the way, though, as Eberle will hand it off for Schultz. Over to Oscar Klefbom again. Now it's Nugent-Hopkins bringing it in for Eberle. Back to Nugent-Hopkins. Penny Purcell was going right to the net. They couldn't get the pass to him. Plekanec will lift it in, and Eberle is on it. Dropped it. Plekanec is there. Penny Purcell up with the puck, and he'll slide it ahead for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Feeds it across to Eberle. Eberle back in front for Nugent-Hopkins, and that was tipped away by Gilbert, allowing Tokarski to stop it. Well, Saturday, join us live from Halifax, Nova Scotia as we celebrate our nation's game with Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Coverage kicks off at noon on Sportsnet and CBC with all 7 Canadian NHL teams in action. Visit hdic.ca to learn more and join the conversation using the hashtag MyHockeyDay. There's a drive by a Petrie from the line that's stopped by Tokarski. De La Rose chips it in. Montreal going up for a knockdown net. Stopped by Frost, and a penalty coming up here. This will go to the Oilers, and the Canadiens will get another power play.
Jacob De La Rose demonstrating that great speed, powerful skater. He draws a penalty here because of his quickness and his anticipation. As he goes to the net hard here. Look at the burst, ends up getting hauled down, and look at the skill set as he kicks that puck up from his skates to his stick. And De La Rose is really starting to come on here in the last couple of games for the Canadiens. He was excellent last game, and he's really picked off from where he left off in that last game.
Subban on it. Dumps it off for Sakic, and it got away from him. Pacioretty is here. Slides it back to Markov. Markov for Pacioretty, walking in with a shot, and it's stopped by Fast. Desharnais back to Markov again. Andre Markov weaving in. Hands it off for Sakach. Sakach back to Pacioretty. Pacioretty on the cycle with it. Hangs on to it. Has a look around. Threw it in front. Goes off the stick. Boyd Gordon has got it, and he'll clear it down the ice for Edmonton.
Pacioretty had a great opportunity earlier. I don't think Foss saw that shot. Just hit him in the shoulder.
Subban back up with it. Played ahead for Andre Markov, and he'll ring it in around the glass. Pacioretty trying to get a piece of it. Desharnais tied up by Ferris. Sakach up with a puck, trying to get it back for Pacioretty, and it's swung back around the boards and down the ice. Tokarski wants to play it. He'll hand it off for Markov. Up ahead for Thomas Plekanec. Plekanec fighting his way in. Goes to the net with a shot on the short side. Victor Foss will block it, and he covers it up and hangs on.
It's the second time Plekanec has been dangerous on the rush for the Canadiens' power play. But it's Pacioretty early in the power play here. I like this play here. He comes off hard off the wall and gets a quick snapshot at Victor Foss, and that almost fooled him. And then Plekanec just some great speed. Look at him protect the puck. Gets the leg out there, drives the net hard, and tries to beat Foss to the short side.
Off the draw, Subban. Locked and loaded, fakes it. Hands it off to Gonchar. Over to Galchenyuk. Gonchar to Subban. Subban waiting. Gal throws in front. Plekanec right back for Subban. Curling around, goes to Gonchar. Across for Galchenyuk. Over to Subban. Fires. Kicked up by Foss. Fane fired it around the boards, and Subban kept it in. Gonchar on it again. Gonchar to Galchenyuk. Sergei Gonchar waiting up high, but it's thrown in front as Plekanec tipped it on net. Galchenyuk back up with it again. Hands it off for Gallagher. Around to Subban. PK Subban to Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar for Galchenyuk. Holds on. Goes back to Subban. Pass off his skate. And up into the 10th row as Petrie comes out of the box for the power play over.
Some great pressure by the Canadiens on this power play. And PK Subban is just going to rip this shot. Gets it through. And look at this play. Keeps it in through the legs. Keeps that play alive. And enables the Canadiens to get this opportunity as Galchenyuk throws it into the soft spot. Plekanec tips it on net. And Foss had to be sharp as the Canadiens came with all sorts of pressure on that last power play.
Yemelin back on the puck. Played it up off the boards. That got poked forward, and Thomas will knock it down the ice. Victor Foss there with the net. Wants to play it off the stick of Portaval. Feeds it across for Delarose off his skate. Yakupov ahead to Derek Roy. He'll tip it by Yemelin to go after him, but Delarose got him away. Ryan Hamilton comes in and checks Delarose. Hamilton trying to strip Gilbert to the pocket. Does Yakupov with a shot on the sharp angle as Tokarski is up against the post and keeps it out.
Tokarski almost got caught leaning off his post there and was just able to squeeze this one. Look at Delarose with the great back check, gets body position. And Gilbert gets hooked on that play, and Yakupov jumps in and fires it at the net, and Tokarski just squeezes that one. And he makes sure there's no rebound. But how about Coach Michel Therrien trusting his young fourth line and giving them a shift here in the last minute of the period?
Oilers come up with it off the draw. Teddy Purcell spins on the boards, takes the shot right on, and it's gloved by Tokarski.
Once again, Tokarski have to be sharp as the Oilers are just getting as many pucks as they possibly can to the net. And they've had a strong second period here as they've been able to tie this hockey game up.
Desharnais tangled up with Nugent Hopkins. Goes after it on the boards. Weiss buzzing around in there as well, and now it is brought out. Lifted down the ice. Buffon back on it for the Oilers. Buffon takes his time. He'll feed it across for Justin Schultz. Played up ahead and brought in by Jordan Eberle. Eberle throws it back in the middle. Intercepted. Desharnais to Pacioretty. 7 seconds left. Pacioretty with a shot, and it's gloved by Victor Foss, and he has a look at the clock to see 4.2 seconds left.
So Pacioretty, Desharnais was coming late on this play. So Pacioretty takes the puck out wide, takes a quick look back, decides just to get it on net, which is always a good play, especially when you're the leading goal scorer of the Montreal Canadiens, as Max Pacioretty is with his 24 goals.
Now an important draw here for Boyd Gordon against Thomas Plekanec. And he'll scrum it off the draw, trying to hold it, and that will be done successfully as the period comes to a close.
Pretty decent period by the Canadiens, but it's the Edmonton Oilers able to get a couple goals and get this game tied up with some strong work.
11-9 the shots for Montreal. 20-20 after 40. Galchenyuk for the Habs. Hendricks and Nugent-Hopkins for the Oilers as we're tied at 2. Sending it back to net for the Habs. Hendricks and Nugent-Hopkins for the Oilers as we're tied at 2. Sending it back to David Hall.
As a Canadian, I grew up knowing that this country loves immigration, right?
When you have to leave everything behind.
There are so many reasons why people decide to leave their home and go somewhere else.
Coming here is not that easy.
What are the real costs of making a new start?
My very first passport.
We should give up and maybe we should go back to our home country. We are financially drained.
Welcome to Canada, a CBC News special series. Everywhere you get CBC News.
Next, new keyboard. Previous keyboard. Skip button.
Back in Montreal, the Oilers
into the whack in his own rebound. We got a tie hockey game now here in Montreal.
And now, what do we see for the third period here? The Canadiens have been a strong third period team all year. And for the Oilers, well, this is a game here where they're, as you talked about in their game against the Islanders, they're in this one and have an opportunity here. And this is where a team goes to find out a way to try and finish it.
Well, they weren't able to capitalize on their chances in Long Island, and we'll see if they've learned their lesson here as we head into this period tied up.
Puck dumped back into the Canadian zone. Gilbert had to go off his stick as it's poked away, and Boyd Gordon is on it. Ferentz with the shot, tipped in front. Tokarski to save. Petrie follows up and he put it off the outside of the net as it's thrown back in front again. And that puck ends up all the way down the ice.
Oh, a couple great chances for the Oilers. And Tokarski, I don't think he saw where that last puck was.
This is the 12th time this year the Oilers have been tied after 40 minutes. 3-5-3 is their record. 10th time for the Canadiens. They're 7-0-2. Here's Teddy Purcell. Taking it around the net. Purcell lost the puck. Markov comes in on him. Nugent-Hopkins trying to move it as Plekanec knocked it away. And Brendan Gallagher will get it out and dump it down the ice. Victor Fost leaves it for Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins handing it off to Schultz. Played up off the boards and Everly kicked it in with his skate. It goes to Tokarski. He'll cover it up. Doesn't want to take a chance there.
This Oilers team is not sitting back here in the third period. They've come out flying here with a couple great opportunities. Tokarski makes the first save on Ferentz. Then the rebound comes right out in front, and Tokarski can't find it as the Oilers are all around the front of that. And look at Yemelin doing a nice job of knocking down his man in front, and Petrie activates from his point position as the Oilers got a couple great opportunities on Dustin Tokarski.
Well, they've actually stopped here to get the officials' attention. I think they want to have a look at that shot off the outside of the net again as it's under review.
They always want to get it right, but
that didn't appear to do anything but go off the outside of the net. Even Petrie on the bench kind of saying, I don't know why they'd have a look at it.
When you have the technology, never a bad idea to go back and have a look. And we'll have another look right here as, yeah, that puck doesn't even come close to going into the net as Subban discusses the play with Dustin Tokarski, and that just goes right off the side of the net, goes wide, and Petrie throws it in front, and at no time did that puck ever come close to going in the net.
I guess the initial look was, did it possibly go through the mesh? That would be the only way that would be counted. Eric Furlat off the headset now. He'll come over and give an official announcement, and here it is.
The ruling on the ice stand, there is no goal in play.
And that's got a few fans, I think, here perplexed as to what they were looking at anyways.
Well, it's because we're watching here on the Jumbotron here, and you can see the mesh move. I think that's what caught the attention of the officials, but the right call was made.
Yep, you got it. Pacioretty on the puck trying to kick it under his skate, but it's tipped away. Jordan Eberle is back up with it for the Oilers. Eberle goes by Markov. Bumped on the play as Markov got his skate in the way, and now it's Nugent Hopkins after it. Subban is there. Tied up by Nugent Hopkins. Puck lifted ahead, and Pacioretty will swipe it across to Desharnais, and he'll knock it into the Oilers zone. Victor Fast leaves it for Klefbom. Oscar Klefbom up the boards to Derek Roy, and he had to sidestep the hit of Lars Eller at the last second. Lost his stick. He'll go to the bench to grab one. Yakupov on it. Yakupov down the wing, stood up by Evelyn. And Yakupov shaken up on the play. Backed up by scum the Canadiens. Eller with it at the line. Knocked down, and Yakupov is still back down in the zone, and now will get the whistle.
Yakupov moving very gingerly right now.
Derek Roy goes over to have a word with Alexei Yemlin as well.
And that's the danger zone. When Alexei Yemlin is on the ice, if you're a forward, you have to know that he is stepping up on you. And that's his bread and butter zone where he likes to step up and lay big hits as he gets all of his weight into Yakupov. Comes from the side. And Yakupov tries to jump out of the way here. And Yemlin gets him, it appears right in the chest.
Yeah, in the chest or the leg. There's no contact with the head there, because but it's possible he got winded.
Absolutely, and the head of Yakupov snaps back, but there's no head contact on the play. It's shoulder on chest, and I'd have to think...
Unless it caught his knee on the right leg, the way that he came across.
And he's getting up on that right knee very slowly. And I'm going to agree with you on that one, Johnny. I think this is, if anything, a knee injury for Yakupov. Absolutely not a head injury because there was no head contact on the play. This is the thing you always have to look for when there's collisions. They want to get the head contact penalties out of the game, but right from the side, Yemlin comes in, and it's actually his knee goes right on the knee of Yakupov. And you can see Yakupov's knee does a little bit of a twisting motion as he goes down to the ice.
Or maybe even just up in the thigh area, a bit of a Charlie horse. That could also be the reason. But Yakupov on the bench and trying to shake it off as Derek Roy will hand it off for Mark Fane. Tkach got out of the way. Lars Eller trying to go to the net. That got stopped. And it's brought up by Klinkhammer, will deflect it into the Canadian zone. Yemlin lifts it over the glass. Another play, but it hit the glass, so it won't be a penalty.
Alexei Yemlin has really picked up the physicality in his game, and this is when he's most effective. When he's hitting, and you have to be aware of he's on the ice, this is what makes him dangerous. Look at the hit on Lucic, who he played an excellent game against the Boston Bruins. Then he steps up on Petrie tonight, Van de Velde in the Philadelphia game, and tonight, Yakupov feels the wrath of Alexei Yemlin as he comes across on that zone where he loves to deliver those big punishing body checks.
Gonchar hands it across for Thomas. He'll flip it in. Thomas racing after it, trying to fire it back towards the net. Nathan Beaulieu went to hold it in, but it's Hakarinen that'll get it out. Nathan Beaulieu worked it around the boards, and Bourneval deflects it by Petrie. Now Luke Gastic back on it, and he'll hand it off for Andrew Ference. Ference feeds it up. Hakarinen will get it in. Taken into the boards by Gonchar. Iiro Hakarinen hands it off for Luke Gastic. Gastic feeds it to Schultz. Got it across, and it's swung back in by Klefbom. Landon can't get to it, and it's brought back out by Thomas. He'll gain center and flip it in, and the Canadiens get a change. Eberle up with it as Thomas is tangled up with Anton Lander on the change there in front of the Edmonton bench. Schultz up on the wing. Eberle tips it out for Teddy Purcell. Got by Markov, but Galchenyuk will race after the puck. Got it caught up in the skates of Subban. Now Galchenyuk is on it again. Alex Galchenyuk hands it off to Gallagher. Up for Plekanec, working his way in. Pass and flip for Galchenyuk right to his feet. What a setup. Gallagher on it again. Subban at the line. Throws it towards the goal. That got blocked by Klefbom. Eberle back up with it for the Oilers, and Jordan Eberle will lift it in. PK Subban. Back up with it again. Subban drops it up for Yemelin. Played up to David Desharnais. Across for Dale Weiss. Weiss jumping in the zone. Taken to the corner by Mark Fane. Puck comes back for Gilbert. Gilbert down low to Desharnais. Looks out front. Tried to center for Weiss off the outside of the goal. Pacioretty will go after it. That's it back for Weiss. Weiss tangled up. And now he breaks free as he'll hand it off for Pacioretty with a shot that missed on the short side. Gilbert, that's it back for Pacioretty. Off the stick. Desharnais is there. Tied up by Fane. Desharnais up with it for Gilbert. Back down low for Pacioretty. Mark Fane got in the way. Weiss gets to the puck. Canadiens now a little pressure on the Oilers. Yemelin back for Pacioretty out of his reach. Desharnais across to Gilbert. Trying to get it back in. Pacioretty played it into the skates of Fane, then knocks it down at the line. Pacioretty's got it, feeding it back to Desharnais. The pass was in behind him. Now over to Yemelin with a shot. Hit a body in front. It goes wide. Dale Weiss with it. Weiss trying to get away from Gordon. Went to go back for Desharnais. Broken up. Gilbert is there. Handing it off to Desharnais. Feeds it for Yemelin. Dumping it back in down low. And there to get it is Berenson. He'll fire it around the boards. Desharnais kept it in again. Oilers can't clear the zone. Dale Weiss trying to chase after it. Gilbert pinching in. Yemelin holds it. Throws it back deep to Pacioretty. Pacioretty trying to get away from Hendricks and does. Pacioretty circling around with it. Takes the shot. Stopped by Victor Fast. And he'll hold on. And that'll get a big rise from the Bell Center faithful as the Canadiens have the Oilers hemmed in their zone.
And that's a big whistle right there for the Oilers because they were gassed in their own zone. But earlier, look at Galchenyuk start this rush over to Paterks. He throws it across, and Galchenyuk almost tips that on goal. And then Max Pacioretty, a giveaway there, but look at the hand-eye coordination. That would have been a breakaway if he doesn't knock that puck down. And because he keeps it going, he's able to get this chance. But the hand-eye coordination might have just saved the goal there for the Canadiens, or at least a breakaway.
Ferentz up with the puck. Rolled it up ahead to Ryan Hamilton. And he'll clear it out as Brandon Prust is there. Sending it back across. The catch will tip it in. Derek Roy back for Ferentz. Yakupov back on the ice here for the Oilers, so he doesn't miss a shift as Yakupov will lift it out. Although he had that a little extra time there to take a breather with the Canadiens having the Oilers deep. Now a chance for Edmonton, but Gonchar gets in the way of Derek Roy. Yakupov playing it off the glass, but that gets by Ferentz. Brandon Prust up with the puck. Prust trying to wait for Eller, the trailer, but it was tipped away by Derek Roy.
What a strong play by Sakach on the boards.
Subban lost the puck off the stick of Hamilton. Now Markov will follow up with it. Andre Markov hands it off for Thomas Plekanec. Goes to dump it in. That got blocked by the leg of Schultz. And Justin Schultz will wrap it around, and that gets out. Subban is there. Over to Markov. Hopped over his stick. Now brought back in. Pacioretty with a chance. Stop by Takarsky and a big save off Gostic on the rebound. Schultz throwing it in front. That got tipped. Subban on it. He'll spring it in to Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk cutting to the net. Lost the puck as Plekanec took a swipe at it. And then Plekanec's stick comes up. It hits Klefbom in the face. That's going to be a penalty to Montreal. Fast goes to the bench. Schultz on the puck. The Oilers will try to set this up on the delayed call. Jordan Eberle with it. Eberle works his way in the Canadian zone. Dropped it for Nugent Hopkins. He's checked and knocked down. And the Oilers will get a power play on the high sticking call against Thomas Plekanec. The stick came up, and it'll be an Edmonton power play when we return on Sportsnet.
Thanks to Dustin Tokarski, this hockey game remains a 2-2 tied game, and Subban's going to give a little bit of a wobbling pass to Markov. He can't handle it. The Oilers come in. Look at Gazdic. He's got a wide open net. Tokarski pushes across and makes the save. Subban then starts the transition game. Look at the moves by Galchenyuk. Plekanec's going to go for this puck, and the stick just follows through, and that gets Klefbom right in the chin. And because of that, Thomas Plekanec is going to spend the next 2 minutes or less here in the box, and the Oilers are going to go on the power play.
Schultz up with it off the draw. Feeds it across to Everly. Back for Schultz and over to Everly. They'll give and go. Nugent Hopkins is on it. Nugent Hopkins to Schultz. Over to Everly again. Oilers moving it around. Gilbert got it sticking away the pass intended for Teddy Purcell. Comes back for Nugent Hopkins. Slides it up for Schultz. Schultz to Nugent Hopkins. Takes the shot. It's stopped. Loose puck in front. Purcell can't knock it down. Eller bats it in the air. Nugent Hopkins will grab it. And he closed his hand on the puck. And he's going to go to the box for it.
What a turn of events here. That's all because Lars Eller does an outstanding job in front of the net. Very similar to the Pacioretty play earlier. It's a hand-eye coordination. He's able to tip the puck. And the Oilers, watch right here, Lars Eller tipped it earlier, but that's just way too long for putting your hand on the puck there. For Nugent Hopkins, I believe.
A couple of steamboats.
And that's anytime you go over two steamboats with your hand on the puck, you're going to get called.
Everly now with a break. He'll hustle after it. Subban trying to catch him and does. Two of them go to the corner. A little open ice now with some 4-on-4 hockey in a 2-2 game. Everly trying to shake off Markov. Hands it off. Anton Lander is on it. Lander spins away from Pacioretty. Gave it to Everly. Shoots. Stopped by Tokarski, and the rebound got knocked away.
Everly so slippery in the offensive zone.
Here's Klefbom with a chance. Ripped it wide. Lander's got it. Anton Lander gets away from Pacioretty. Over to Klefbom. Desharnais out to meet him. Lander back on it. Hands it off for Everly. Up high to Klefbom. He'll tee it up. Kicked up by Tokarski. Lander on it again. Markov watching him. Anton Lander gets away from Pacioretty. Lander, look at the move. Goes to the net, but can't get it through the skates of Markov. Now the puck comes out. Pacioretty's on it with Desharnais. Pacioretty shoots, scores! Goes to Tokarski. Lander on it again. Markov watching him. Anton Lander gets away from Pacioretty. Lander, look at the move. Goes to the net, but from Pacioretty. Lander, look at the move. Goes to the net, but can't get it through the skates of Markov. Now the puck comes out. But can't get it through the skates of Markov. Now the puck comes out. Pacioretty's on it with Desharnais. Pacioretty pulls it away. In the air. Petrie will bat it in. Stop. Ferris around for Petrie. Back up it in. Stop. Gilbert had it hop over his stick. Look out. Boyd Gordon hustling back. Hendricks calling for a corner to the net. Stop. Rebound. Tokarski with a great save. Off net. Hendricks following in on the play.
And this Bell Center crowd is showing their appreciation to Dustin Tokarski.
The Oilers with a chance to tie it, but Tokarski keeps it out, and the Habs are up. The Oilers with a chance to tie it, but Tokarski keeps it out, and the Habs are
up. Dustin Tokarski has been brilliant here in the third period for the Montreal Canadiens, and Tom Gilbert has trouble corralling this bouncing puck, and it's going to end up Boyd Gordon coming in on a 2-on-1 with Matt Hendricks. He takes it hard to the cage. Hendricks follows it up. Watch Hendricks here. He creates this 2-on-1. He's banging his stick. He wants the puck. Instead, he's going to get a juicy rebound. But look at Tokarski with the desperation save as he gets the glove out. Goes to the bench and discusses the save with Carey Price. It's always great when your two goaltenders are happy for one another, especially after Tokarski makes a big save like that, and Carey Price extending the glove and saying, "Hey, you just got that one with your glove, didn't you?"
Yeah, you can read his lips. It's a good job by you.
And that's the key to this Canadiens hockey club. I talked to Tokarski yesterday, and he says this team is a closely knit bunch, and that's one of the big reasons why they're able to win a lot of these close hockey games.
Klefbom fires a shot that goes wide. Teddy Purcell trying to roll it to the net, kicked up by Tokarski. Fires Eller up with the puck, trying to go up the boards. That got stopped. Nugent Hopkins wanting to play. Subban tipped it away. Everly up with it. They're going to call that on a high stick against the Oilers, and that'll get a whistle.
PK Subban is having another strong game tonight for the Canadiens. Last couple weeks, he's really picked up his play. Had the 3 assists last Saturday against the New Jersey Devils, all 3 coming on the power play. 31-plus minutes last game versus the Flyers, and he's been a workhorse once again tonight for the Canadiens.
Oilers out shooting Montreal 10-3 here in the third period. But it's the Canadiens with the goal for Max Pacioretty. Here's Everly up with it. Jordan Everly. Trying to drop it down low. Broken up by Markov. Galchenyuk is away with it. Gallagher going to the net. Galchenyuk in front. Look out! Oh, that went off the skate of Oscar Klefbom, and Victor Fast had to make the stop.
Great reactionary save by Fast.
Nugent Hopkins plays it to Teddy Purcell. Everly off for Purcell. His way to Nugent Hopkins. That got broken up. Galchenyuk is on it, and he'll play it off the boards and get it out and down the ice. You have to think with the Oilers' luck earlier in the season, that one probably ends up in the net somehow.
All right, that's a big save that keeps him in this hockey game.
Here's Marincek lifting it in, offside called against Edmonton.
Well, the Canadiens are one of the top third-period teams in the league, and right here, Galchenyuk throws it towards the net, bounces off the leg of Oscar Klefbom, and look at Victor Fast, just kicks that right pad back and is able to make a nice save and keep it a one-goal hockey game.
And he was shaking his head afterwards as well. Are you kidding me? Off my own defenseman's right here?
Unbelievable the breaks you get when you're a last-place hockey coach.
Pacioretty off with the puck, throws it across, goes off the skate, and back of the line. Yemelin is there to chip it in. Here's Desharnais with it. For Sikac. Trying to go back for Desharnais. Yemelin pinching, but it's knocked away by Yakupov. He has Hamilton with it. 2-on-1. Yakupov to Hamilton. Scores! No, he didn't. No, what a stop. Off the skate. And back of the line. Yemelin is there to chip it in. Here's Desharnais with it. For Sikac. Trying to go back for Desharnais. Yemelin pinching, but it's knocked away by Yakupov. He has Hamilton with it. 2-on-1. Yakupov to Hamilton. Scores! For Sikac. Trying to go back for Desharnais. Yemelin pinching, but it's knocked away by Yakupov. He has second with
Yakupov just puts
by Victor Fast. Just a piece.
Hamilton dings it, and that hits his Aaron right there.
And there as well. Comes back for Gonchar. Throws it on net. Wow. Now Thomas fighting for it. Heller in there as well. Comes back for Gonchar. Throws it on net. And it's held on to by Victor Fast.
And these are the kinds of breaks you get if you're an excellent third-period team like the Canadiens are. And they're one of the best third-period clubs in the National Hockey League. And look at the goal differential. The first and second period, pretty average. First period, actually, they're one of the worst in the NHL. But the third period, it's a different story. Plus 25 goal differential. And that's the second best in the National Hockey League. Calgary Flames, plus 33, is tops in the league.
Nathan Beaulieu gave it across to Galchenyuk. Plekanec is there, and he'll lift it back in. Victor Fast out of the net. Backs it over to Petrie. Now tipped away. Galchenyuk trying to play. Knocks down Hendricks. Ferretz after the puck. Rolled it back around to Petrie. Plekanec's got his stick in the way, but it is brought up ice by Klinkhammer. Played in the Canadian zone. Gonchar trying to get it away from Hendricks. Got tangled up with him. Boyd Gordon in to help out, and the puck gets flipped over the glass and out of play.
So this faceoff's going to come outside. Sergei Gonchar looks on, the 40-year-old defenseman. He's been a real stabilizing force for this Canadiens blue line. It's really helped in the maturation process of Nathan Beaulieu, and it's no coincidence that Beaulieu's game really picked up once he was paired with the veteran Gonchar.
Pacioretty knocks it ahead with Dale Weiss. Holden in the corner. Tied up as Schultz is there. By Nugent Hopkins. Played forward for Everly. Back to the line, stop by Subban. Nugent Hopkins in a long stop by Tokarski again. And he hangs on to the puck as Nugent Hopkins finds his way to the goal.
Nugent Hopkins has been a threat all night long for the Edmonton Oilers at their second goal. And look at the acceleration here for the neutral zone. Picks up the puck, splits the D, walks right in, but look at this save by Tokarski. Nugent Hopkins tries to go 5-hole, but Tokarski squeezes the pads together and makes another excellent save.
Now Nugent Hopkins will take the draw against Lars Eller. Oilers on it. Schultz hands it off for Eberle. Jordan Eberle with a shot blocked by Markov. Bill Rose trying to swipe it away, but Schultz will play it in deep. Comes back to Lars Eller. Eller around the boards for Thomas. Can't chip it out. Now it comes back at the line. Klefbom dumps it off for Eberle. Back up high to Klefbom firing, and it's wide. Schultz back up with it, pressured by De La Rose. Subban trying to work it. And it's around the glass and out. Thomas racing after it. Klefbom is there. Markov trying to fire it ahead. Goes off the skates. Subban got to it before Purcell. Now Lars Eller up with it. Eller drops for Thomas with a shot that goes wide. Nugent Hopkins the other way. Taken into the boards by Jacob De La Rose. Gilbert played it back around for Thomas, and then Yakupov ran into him. Eller hands it out for Alexei Yemelin. Yemelin will bring it in off the glass. Got away from Victor Fast. Derek Roy going after the puck. Gallagher buzzing in to get to it. Knocked to the line, and out Yemelin is there. And Alexei Yemelin will snap it right back in. But under the stick of Fast. Marenson trying to move it for the Oilers. Plekanec is there, though, and he'll slide it back around for Gallagher. Off the Thomas. Plekanec goes up high. Gilbert fires. Blocked in front. Gallagher trying to get a chance in the slot. And it was knocked away as Yakupov is up with it. Yakupov will lift it in the Canadiens zone. Tokarski lets it go. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Canadiens 3, Edmonton 2. So Yakupov is up with it. Yakupov will lift it in the Canadiens zone. Tokarski lets it go. Under 5 minutes to go in the third. Canadiens 3, Edmonton 2.
Order 0.
Gilbert. For Yemelin. He's run into the end boards by Derek Roy. And Gallagher will clear the puck. Yemelin having a little word for Derek Roy afterwards. Oilers bringing it right back in. Akarinich around the boards, but Subban is there to clear it out. This will go down the ice, and the Canadiens will get called for icing.
The Oilers have really picked up the pace here in the third period. They're shooting the Canadiens 12-5 in the period, and there's Derek Roy stepping into Alexei Yemelin. Probably a little payback for the hit earlier on Roy's teammate Yakupov. As Roy, not usually noted as a physical player, as you see the two exchange words as Derek Roy skates to the bench.
Eberle up with it, slides it back for Klefbom. He'll fire, stopped by Tokarski. The rebound's knocked away. Popped over the stick of Klefbom, and he's back after it. Throws it over for Schultz, but Weiss got in the way and sends it in deep. Pacioretty knocks it around. Eberle is there. Rolled it up on the wing, and Anton Lander will get it up. PK Subban off the boards. Dale Weiss trying to catch up to it. Tipped in the air by Schultz. Justin Schultz back on it for Edmonton. They'll wait and set up here in their own zone. Brandon Prust watching from the front of the Edmonton net. On pass across for Boyd Gordon. Deflects it up for Klinkhammer. Klinkhammer played it in deep. Puck got chipped out front. Brandon Prust checked by Petrie. Eller will swipe it out as Sakach goes after it. Sakach tries to move it. Tangled up. Dodged the check of Klinkhammer. Took a run at him in front of the Oilers bench. Now Klinkhammer hands it off for Jeff Petrie. Petrie trying to turn the corner on Bolger. Stops, checks up, waits for some help. Throws it on net. And Tokarski grabs it. And doesn't allow a rebound. And he'll get a break. With 3:15 to go. And Pacioretty with a go-ahead goal for Montreal. Canadiens 15 to go. And Montreal with a go-ahead goal for Montreal. Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet.
The last time the Edmonton Oilers and the Montreal Canadiens met on October 27th, the Oilers were the victors in a 3-0 win and it was Dustin Tokarski in that game. And tonight it's Tokarski again, but Tokarski has been the difference, especially in the third period. He's given the Montreal Canadiens an opportunity to win this game as they've been hanging on to this one-goal lead, and Tokarski has been excellent as the Canadiens have been outshot 13-5 here in this third period. Tokarski, time and time again, has been called upon to make huge saves, and he's been up to the task each and every time.
Plekanec up for the draw against Nugent Hopkins. And off the draw, Plekanec used his hand to play it, and that's a penalty. He's going to go to the box, and he knows it. And the Oilers are going to get a power play here with 3:13 to go.
An uncharacteristic mental mistake by Plekanec, and he realized it right away. And off the draw, it's sitting there. He puts a hand on it, and this is something you used to be able to do in the NHL on draws, but you can't do it anymore. It's now a penalty, and you saw the expression. He's checking the scoreboard out right here, and he knows it. And for who I consider one of the smartest players in the National Hockey League, a little bit of a mental gaffe, and hopefully the Canadiens can bail out one of their leaders here.
Subban up with it. He'll fire it around the boards, and that'll get all the way down the ice. Victor Fox down to the net, and he'll set it up for Schultz. Schultz starts out on the power play for the Oilers. Feeds it across. Anton Lander brings it in. Worked it back up the boards into the skates of Teddy Purcell. Markov trying to knock it away. Nugent Hopkins plays it off for Schultz. Rolls it over to Everly. Back for Schultz. Schultz trying to get away from Brandon Prust. Hands it up for Nugent Hopkins. Check to the play. Bouncing puck. Lander for Schultz. Sends it over to Everly. Back for Schultz. Across to Nugent Hopkins. Settles it down. Played down low. Anton Lander in front, and it's off the blocker of Tokarski. Schultz for Nugent Hopkins again. He'll shoot, and that one goes wide as Anton Lander was causing the screen in front of Tokarski, and the puck is out of play. Let's check in with Carly and Jamie at Sportsnet Central for a little preview of what to expect after the game tonight.
Did the Leafs have a response after being called out by their coach?
And the post-Evander Kane era is officially underway in Winnipeg. The Jets are on the road to Nashville. See you soon.
Well, thank you very much, guys. 1:09 to go in the power play. Gilbert wrapped it around the boards. Pacioretty trying to deflect it out. It'll get to the line and out as Jacob De La Rose will help it down the rest of the way.
That's a strong defensive play by Pacioretty, making sure that puck gets out of the zone.
Pacioretty now picks it up, throws it towards the net. I think that went off the head of Victor Faust over the glass in the netting and out of play.
Yeah, it's the little things that count, especially late in the game, that enable your hockey club to be a winning team. And when your top scorer is making plays like this, you know you're doing things right. Look at Pacioretty. Gets in there, sacrifices the body, takes a hit to make the play, but he makes sure the puck gets out of the zone. And the big thing there, he's not blowing the zone and cheating. And that's what you need, your top scorers, to play like that.
Petrie trying to play it. Derek Roy comes up with it. Derek Roy starting out here on the power play for the Oilers. Will dump it in as Tokarski slowed it down back to the net. Pacioretty around the wing off the leg of Yakupov, and now it is Jacob De La Rose. That's on it short-handed. De La Rose takes it to the corner, then gets stood up by Jeff Petrie. Ryan Hamilton is on it. 24 seconds to go in the power play. Hamilton hands it off to Petrie. He'll ring it in. Subban stops it. Played it back for Markov around the glass. Petrie at the line, keeps it in. Yakupov will knock it down. Try to go back for Roy. Markov cleared the line. Yakupov, no, can't hold it in. It's an offside as Victor Faust was headed to the bench for the empty net. Montreal Canadiens hockey on Sportsnet is presented by Rogers. So Faust down in the high slot with 7 seconds to go in the power play. 1:22 left in the third and a 3-2 Montreal lead. And it's Schultz up with it. He'll bring it in and play. 1:22 left in the third and a 3-2 Montreal lead. And it's Schultz up with it. He'll bring it in and Faust trying to get to the bench, and there he goes. The Oilers' net is empty. Schultz back for Everly out of the box. David will pick it up. Empty net. Holding right in the other way. Brings it in the zone, trying to flip it across. Buchanan's got of the way. Nugent-Hopkins up with a puck. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins tied up by Thomas Buchanan. Eller trying to move it. Oilers get it. Here's Schultz with it. Schultz feeds it over to Klefbom. Klefbom back down low. Nugent-Hopkins on it. His pass goes off the skate of Subban. Teddy Purcell with it. Purcell feeds it to Everly, trying to get it in front. Markov lying down, blocked. The Canadiens can't get the puck. Teddy Purcell on it again. Purcell to Everly. Back off for Teddy Purcell. Over to Klefbom with a shot, and it's blocked. Rebound scores! Nugent feeds it to Everly, trying to get it in front. Kate of Subban. Teddy Purcell with it. Purcell feeds it to Everly, trying to get it in front.
This game, Montreal.
Tonight, they're bubbling up. Gilbert. Klinkhammer can't find him. Up next, Pacioretty will hand it off for Yemelin, and this game is going to go to overtime.
It is scoreless. 0-0
So
tie.
after Pacioretty put the Canadiens out front in the third, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with his second of the night. 3-3 the score.
0-0
overtime.
the score.
On Sportsnet.
What a turn of events we've had here late in the third period. The Montreal Canadiens came oh so close to putting this game away on the stick of Thomas Buchanan. He has a pass over to Prusty. You can't see in the far picture. He tries to go for the shot, and Oscar Klefbom blocks it. And then seconds later, the puck comes back to Klefbom. He shoots it. Markov blocks it, but the rebound comes right to the stick of Nugent-Hopkins, and he makes no mistake as he deposits that in the net. Right by Dustin Tokarski. And for the Montreal Canadiens, those are the opportunities when you have the time to put the game away. And for Buchanan, he took the penalty late in the game and then had an opportunity to put it away. And you got to give a lot of credit to Oscar Klefbom, who made an excellent block on that play and then figured in on that tying goal as well with the shot from the point.
Well, Tuesday night, the Canadiens went to overtime, and it was David Desharnais that had the winner. So back-to-back games to overtime for Montreal. As they're 4-2 in overtime this year, the Oilers 0-6. They've not had a winning decision in the overtime period this year. They have won 4 in the shootout, though. Markov back on it. St. Louis was all over Tampa Bay tonight as well, so Canadiens here with a chance for a big second point. The game down to the Lightning in that first spot in the Eastern Conference. And an offside called, and Habs and Lightning tied with 74 points right now, so that go-ahead point on the line for Montreal.
Yeah, and the Canadiens with a few games in hand, so this is a big game for the Habs tonight, and if they're able to get a couple points out of this one, and right now the Edmonton Oilers are putting up quite the fight.
6-3 St. Louis, the final in that one. Here's Nugent-Hopkins carrying it into the Canadian zone. Nugent-Hopkins checks up, feeds it back across for Schultz. Over to Klefbom.
Sends it down the ice, and that's coming back on the icing call.
Habs and
one of the reasons that the Edmonton Oilers like Chris Russell
go-ahead point on the line for Montreal.
He's a free agent signing is because he does stuff like this. He is a terrific puck retrieval defenseman. Gets his head turned before he even gets the puck. He knows where he wants to go. Makes a quick turn, escapes 2 forecheckers, and bang, the Oilers are out of their zone. Something they desperately need is defensemen who can get the puck going north.
And the Canadiens with
2 assists in that game on Wednesday.
This is a big game for
escapes 2 forecheckers, his head turned before he even gets the puck. He knows where he wants to go. Makes a quick turn, escapes 2 forecheckers, and bang, the Oilers are out of their zone. Something they desperately need is defensemen who can get the puck going north.
For the Habs tonight,
2 assists in that game on Wednesday.
This one, and
right up 6-3 St. Louis, the final in that one. Here's Nugent-Hopkins carrying it into the Canadian zone, and Inyuk will tip it in. And that will be an icing call against Montreal.
Oh, against Montreal. 38 seconds. Alex Galchenyuk celebrating his 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier, and he'd like nothing more and have a nice overtime winner. What a birthday present that would be for young Galchenyuk. He's already got 1 on the night on that beautiful play from PK Subban earlier on the one-time goal.
Markov trying to feed it back for Subban. Teddy Purcell got in the way. Subban tangled up. Puck comes free. Purcell shoots. Stopped by Tokarski. Tokarski. It caught him off guard a little as he had a quick look behind him, but Tokarski made the stop.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot, and Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots are just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up, and Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
It caught him off guard a little as he had a quick look behind him, but Tokarski made the stop.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot. Tokarski had to be real careful with this shot. It's a bang-bang play. Subban gets out in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots are just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up, and Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
Tokarski, and he swipes it away before Petrie can get to it. Chiaretti sees Desharnais, nearly connected with him and hopped over his stick. He would have been away to the races. Chiaretti back on the puck, trying to play it around, and now it's knocked away. Schultz tipped it. Petrie over to Derek Roy. Roy trying to feed it back across. Gilbert blocked it with his stick, and Petrie will back out of the zone. Schultz on it again for Petrie. On the forecheck by Chiaretti, nearly knocked it loose. Derek Roy turns it over to Emelin. Chiaretti, it's got it. Schultz on the back. He'll leave it to Desharnais. Across to Gilbert with a shot, stopped by Foss. And now the Oilers will turn it back up by Shakopov with it. Here comes Shakopov, landed to the net shot, and it's steered away by Tokarski. Rebound, and front, they score! Bomber back. Derek Roy turns it over to Emelin. Chiaretti, it's got it. Schultz and Cluck bomber back. He'll leave it to Dale. It caught him off guard a little as he had a quick sport behind him, but Tokarski made it over just to leave it.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot.
Here's McDavid against
Montreal. Be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Just to leave it. Just walks out. Absolutely. And at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots.
Emelin up with it. He'll roll it around, and Chiaretti knocked off his stick. Chance for Roy. Stop, but Tokarski, and he swings it away before Petrie can get to it. Chiaretti sees Desharnais.
52 seconds left to overtime.
Over his stick. Chiaretti sees Desharnais. Nearly connected with him and hopped over his stick. He would have been away to the races. Chiaretti back on the puck, trying to play it around, and now it's knocked away. Schultz tipped it. Petrie over to Derek Roy. Roy trying to feed it back across. Gilbert blocked it with his skate, and Petrie will back out of the zone. Schultz on it again for Petrie. On the forecheck by Chiaretti, nearly knocked it loose. Derek Roy turns it over to Emelin. Chiaretti, it's got it. Schultz and Cluck bomber back. He'll leave it to Desharnais. Across to Gilbert with a shot, stopped by Foss. And now the Oilers will turn it back up by Shakopov with a shot, stopped by Foss. And that will be an icing call against Montreal.
Montreal with 1 minute 59 seconds left to go overtime. Celebrating his 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier. He got like nothing more.
0% penalty score.
Overtime winner.
5 foot tall.
What a birthday present that
Where
would
that
be.
stick is, it's still, like you said, the crossbar to see.
Young Galchenyuk.
It doesn't matter how tall the player is.
No, it's where the stick is.
Relative to the crossbar.
Some kinds it's just kind of deceiving to see how high the stick possibly is because you judge it on the player where it is on his body sometimes.
Subban tangled up, puck comes free, Purcell shoots, stopped by Tokarski.
Still did not made a final determination here.
I'm not even sure.
And have a nice overtime winner. What a birthday.
Johan Larsson stick.
PK Subban.
Tried to feed it back for Subban. Teddy Purcell got in the way. Subban tangled up, puck comes free. Purcell shoots, stopped by Tokarski. Tokarski made this first with 1:40.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot. Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot. Just a quick snapshot. Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just Purcell just walks out, and shots are just like down.
Yemeling up with it. He'll roll it around to Pacioretty. Knocked off his stick. Chance for Roy. Stopped by Tokarski, and he swipes it away before Petrie can get to it. Pacioretty sees Desharnais. Nearly connected with him and hopped over his stick. Stopped by Tokarski. It caught him off guard a little. He had a quick look behind him, but Tokarski made the stop.
Teddy Purcell with a quick
Behind him, but Tokarski made the stop.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot, and Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots are just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders because you're not shot. And at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. This one is with a quick snapshot, and Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots are just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up, and Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
Yemeling up with it. He'll roll it around to Pacioretty. Knocked off his stick. Chance for Roy. Stopped by Tokarski, and he swipes it away before Petrie. He had a goal. Stopped by Tokarski. It caught him off guard a little as he had a quick look behind him, but Tokarski made the stop.
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot. Tokarski has to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play.
Made the final determination here.
I'm not even
Purcell
sure.
just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot. Those shots are just a couple feet off the ice.
Did he touch it before Brian Gionta touched it?
Ones for
Or even
goaltenders.
did
You're not
Brian
sure if you want
Gionta
to go
even
down or
touch it?
stay up, and Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
Gionta was the first to celebrate, but I mean, that could be because he saw go into the net first.
You're right. But if you watch this, the one view he had, right there, it does touch Brian Gionta the second time.
Tokarski with a pretty nice
Right
save
there, you don't see the stick above the crossbar. And Brian Gionta even jumps up a little bit.
December 2nd.
Careful with this one.
So is it 3-2 Buffalo or is it 4-2 Buffalo?
Teddy Purcell with a quick snapshot, and Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play.
Calgary right after the game
Subban gets outnumbered in the corner.
Flames at the Saddledome.
Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots were just a couple feet off the ice.
A lot of talking going
Those
on.
are the trickiest ones for goaltenders because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up. Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
Toronto, obviously,
He'll roll it around to Pacioretty. Knocked off
make
his
this
stick.
decision, which has now been made.
The play was under review to see if there was a high stick. There was no high stick. Buffalo is now challenged as to whether there was goaltender interference or not.
Bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner.
Edmonton.
Purcell just walks out.
Well, he was still confused in the call, but yeah.
At first looked like he was going to pass the puck. He just spun
Buffalo's
and
not going to
shot.
challenge anything because they've already determined that there was no high stick, so it's a goal, at least for that point. The only thing that could eliminate that would be goaltender interference.
Tokarski with a pretty nice save there.
YouTube.
Yemeling up with it. He'll roll it around to Pacioretty. Knocked off his stick. Chance for Roy. Stopped by Tokarski, and he swipes it away before Petrie can get to it. Pacioretty sees Desharnais. Nearly connected with him and hopped over his stick. He would have been away to the races. Pacioretty back on the puck. Trying to play it around, and now it's knocked away. Schultz tipped it. Petrie over to Derek Roy. Roy trying to feed it back across. Gilbert blocked it with his skate, and Petrie will back out of the zone. Schultz on it again for Petrie. On the fourth, back out of the zone. Schultz on it again for Petrie. On the forecheck by Pacioretty, nearly knocked it loose. Derek Roy turns it over to Yemeling. Pacioretty has got it. Schultz and Klefbom are back. He'll leave it to Desharnais. Across to Gilbert with a shot. Stopped by Foss. And now the Oilers will turn it back up by Yakupov with it. Here comes Yakupov. Gilbert trying to feed it back across. Gilbert blocked it with his skate, and Petrie will back out of the zone. Schultz on it again for Petrie. On the forecheck by Pacioretty, nearly knocked it loose. Derek Roy turns it over to Yemeling. Pacioretty has got it. Schultz and Klefbom are back. He'll leave it to Desharnais. Across to Gilbert with a shot. Stopped by Foss. And now the Oilers will turn it back up by drive. Yakupov with it. Here comes Yakupov. Landed with an edge shot, and it's steered away by Tokarski.
First look to be real careful with this one, as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walks out, and at first looked like he's going to pass the puck. He just spun and shot, and those shots are just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders, because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up. And to roll it around, trickiest ones for goaltenders, because we're not sure if you want to go down or stay up. And Tokarski with a pretty nice save there. Just a couple feet off the ice. Those are the trickiest ones for goaltenders, because you're not sure if you want to go down or stay up. And Tokarski with a
doing shootout. 0-0. So after Pacioretty put the Canadiens up front in the third, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with his second of the night. 3-3 to score in overtime. Up next, Pacioretty put the Canadiens out front in the third. It's going to go to overtime. And now one for most of the Canadiens. So after Pacioretty put the Canadiens out front.
The Shootout, brought to you by Scotiabank, proud supporter of over 5,000 community hockey teams and Canada's 5th season.
This events we've had here.
3-3 the score in overtime.
The Montreal Canadiens came so close to put this thing away on the stick of Thomas Plekanec. He has a pass over to Prusty. You can't see in the far picture. He tries to go for the shot, and Oscar Klefbom blocks it. And then seconds later, the puck comes back to Klefbom. He shoots it. Markov blocks it, but the rebound comes right to the stick of Nugent-Hopkins. And he makes no mistake as he deposits out of the net. Right by Justin Tokarski. And for the Montreal Canadiens, those are the opportunities. When you have the time to put the game away. And for Plekanec, he took the penalty late in the game and then had an opportunity to put it away. You got to give more credit to Oscar Klefbom. Made an excellent block on that play. And then figured in on that time as well with the shot from the point.
On Tuesday night, the Canadiens went to overtime, and it was David Desharnais that had the winner. So back-to-back games, overtime for Montreal.
Now use TTTS
overtime this year. The Oilers 0-6. They've not had a winning decision in the overtime this year.
Goal scored in large hockey. NHL option. Goal scored. Sound ideas. Goals. Auto plays. Calgary.
On the shootout, though. 2 in overtime. They're able to get to that go-ahead point on the line for Montreal.
YouTube video play.
And an offside called, and it the big second point. Calgary gains the leading in that first spot. And an offside called.
It was a shot.
Habs and Lightning tied with 74 points right now, so that go-ahead point on the line for Montreal.
And the game the player group.
Offside called, and
0%.
Habs and Lightning tied with 74 points. Klefbom got heated back.
There's already nothing.
And that will be it.
YouTube video play. 0%.
Oh, scores!
Nice and called against Montreal.
Kenyuk celebrating his 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier, and he'd like nothing more. And have a nice overtime 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier, and he'd like nothing more.
YouTube video player.
And have a nice overtime winner.
Calgary Flames vs. Goal scored.
Oh!
0% verticals.
And with the front door, there was a save by Talbot. What a save! Alex Galchenyuk celebrating his 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier, and he'd like nothing more. And have a nice overtime winner.
Canadiens.
What a birthday present that would be for young Galchenyuk. He's already got one on the night on that beautiful play from PK Subban earlier on the one-time goal.
Watch. Visits. Heading number 3.
Markov. Try to feed it back for Subban.
December 2nd. Include complimentary.
Before we get
paid promotion.
Galchenyuk.
Montreal.
Scores! More. And that was overtime winner. What a birthday present that would be. Alex Galchenyuk celebrating his 21st birthday. Alex Galchenyuk celebrating his 21st birthday, as we mentioned earlier. He's nothing.
Foreverly out of the box. It's as Victor Foss flipping across the back off for pops.
Before we get into all the cool music theme, first a word from
includes paid promotion. YouTube video player group. Next keyboard short. Compliment.
A bomb with a shot and it's blocked.
What a save! 0% score.
And the Oilers have round 2. Second of the night for Nugent Hopkins.
Menu item check.
Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here.
Oh, what a stoppage. Teddy Purcell on it again with a shot.
0%
underway. Caught for Teddy Purcell over the Klefbom with a shot.
0%
Second of the night for Nugent.
Because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here. For Douglas, it's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the huge pops right to the stick. It's going to come back to the point.
Complimentary.
Datarski. Oh, what a save by Dustin Datarski. Second of the night for Nugent Hopkins.
But Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right to the stick of Nugent Hopkins, and he just spins around and not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across.
Montreal.
1-1 in the shootout, 0-0 in the hockey game. There's Talbot. Oh!
Montreal came
huge. Hopkins throws it out, and the Oilers have tied it. And the Oilers, second of the night for Nugent Hopkins. Sealed it.
And Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right.
Montreal
to this from salting this game away. Montreal came to Klef.
With a shot for Montreal.
And Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here. An assist for this goal because and Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came through.
Montreal Canadiens.
The Klefbom with a shot.
Thomas McKenna.
And it's
Montreal
Canadiens.
And Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here.
And the Oilers have
Montreal.
Back up for Teddy Purcell up at Deverly, trying to get it in front. Canadiens. Teddy Purcell over to Klefbom with a shot.
What a save! Here in the fourth round! And the Oilers have not scored yet.
Second of the night for Nugent Hopkins.
And what a shot!
And Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers were able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right to the stick for Nugent Hopkins. Probably deserves an assist.
Here's Chris Russell with his first shooter. Oh, what a stop by Dustin Tokarski.
Hopkins.
And Oscar Klefbom probably deserves an assist for this goal because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers are able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound from salting this game away, but the Oilers are able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right to the stick of Nugent Hopkins, and he just spins. The Oilers are able to keep it going here from Nugent Hopkins because Montreal came inches from salting this game away, but the Oilers are able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right to the stick of Nugent Hopkins, and he just spins around, and not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across.
Montreal.
Here to get to the 6th round.
0% vertically.
Oh. Here's Talbot. 21st shooter of the season. Oh.
Montreal came inches
0%
from salting this game away, but the Oilers are able to keep it going here. It's going to come back to the point, and right on net, the rebound pops right to the stick of Nugent Hopkins, and he just spins around, and not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across. Too little, too late. We've got ourselves a tight hockey game here in Montreal.
A save by Talbot. His 48.
Complimentary compliment.
Two more. What a save by Talbot.
It's going to come back to the point. And not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across. Too little, too late. We've got ourselves a tight hockey game here in Montreal. He's around, and not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across. Too little, too late. We've got ourselves a tight hockey game here in Montreal.
Montreal is going to get a
0%
Oh, what a shot by Jesse
of Nugent Hopkins, and he just spins around, and not much of a chance for Dustin Tokarski as he tries to come across. Too little, too late. We've got ourselves a tight hockey game here in Montreal.
Round 9.
Montreal Canadiens goal.
The Oilers are able to keep it going.
In the zone, trying to be personal with it.
Montreal Canadiens.
Feeds it down, trying to get it.
And he just spins around.
The Oilers
keyboard short.
have deflected in deep.
Next cross keyboard short. 1 hours 38 minutes 20. 1 hours 41.
Tokarski had to be real careful with this one as it's a bang-bang play. Subban gets outnumbered in the corner. Purcell just walked.
Derek will turn it back up by home, and the
0%.
win it. And Jakubov flat over the net shot.
Some back and forth here in the overtime. The Oilers had an opportunity earlier. The Canadiens had one of their own. Gilbert joins the rush, gets a quick shot, but the puck bounces out to the slot. Jakubov corrals it, and off to the races he goes. This one almost goes in, but it comes around the boards. It's going to end up in front of the net. Tokarski's down as Jakubov just misses.
Complimentary.
That's Klefbom that throws it at the net. But Tokarski right there, he was complaining that he was tripped, and it's actually Gilbert. His leg knocks him down. And Anton Lander ends up knocking that puck by Tokarski, who had absolutely no chance on the play.
And the Edmonton Oilers win in Montreal for the 4th consecutive time against the Canadiens, as this seems to be their lucky city. And they do it in a come-from-behind fashion in this game tonight. And that's just a big emotional win for the Edmonton Oilers.
A big comeback win for the Oilers. And they've been playing some better hockey as of late, and tonight they really brought it to the Montreal Canadiens.
They outshoot the Habs 2-1 in overtime, 38-26 in the game. So